Switching saline for narcotics. A former hospital scrub tech with hepatitis C is accused of swapping syringes to get high. Tonight, Rose Medical Center is sending out letters to nearly 5,000 patients telling them to be tested for the disease. Good evening. I'm Jim Beneman.
And I'm Karen Lee. Already 9 patients have tested positive. The woman not only worked at Rose, but the Audubon Surgery Center in Colorado Springs. CBS 4's Sean Boyd first broke this story on CBS 4 at 6. And Sean, not all 5,000 patients were exposed.
Karen, the hospital says it wants to be safe, so it's asking everyone who had surgery at the main hospital or the Wolf Surgery Center here between October of last year and April of this year to be tested for hepatitis C, even though it is convinced that most of them were not exposed to the dirty needles. This as the district attorney, U.S. attorney, and DEA investigate, and the surgical tech faces felony charges. Her job was to prepare operating rooms for surgery, a job that gave Kristen Parker access to potent narcotics. And investigators say she took advantage, stealing syringes of fentanyl off anesthesia carts and replacing them with dirty syringes filled with saline. What's worse, Parker has hepatitis C. The hospital knew it when it hired her.
And it is impossible to adequately express how deeply sorry and angry, frankly, we are.
Jeff Dorsey, president of Health One, says Parker was fired in April, but not before apparently infecting 9 patients who had operations here. The hospital is now sending letters to every patient who underwent surgery while Parker was employed, almost 5,000 in all.
He said, we are casting as broad a net as we possibly can to make sure that not a single person could fall through the cracks.
Do you feel like you could have done anything to prevent this?
Honestly, not knowing what this surgical tech was doing, I can't answer that.
According to court records, Parker waited to take fentanyl when the OR staff would leave. She injected herself at work and at home and tampered with syringes 15 to 20 times between January and April. She told investigators, quote, "I can't take back what I did, but I will have to live with it for the rest of my life." And so does everyone else. How do you ensure it never happens again?
We're doing everything we can with every patient to ensure their safety.
Parker came under suspicion after a co-worker reported her for being in an operating room she wasn't assigned, and she tested positive for fentanyl. In addition to the patients being tested here for hepatitis C, 1,000 patients at the Audubon Surgery Center in Colorado Springs will also be tested. Karen?
All right, Sean Boyd live at Rose Medical Center tonight. Hepatitis C is a viral infection of the liver. It's spread through blood contact, sexual contact, and intravenous drug use. Medical editor Dr. Dave Nida says there is no cure.
Hepatitis C generally doesn't give a lot of symptoms early on, and in most people winds up going into what we call a chronic type of infection, a low-grade infection that sometimes isn't even discovered until 10 years after the initial infection actually takes place. And people can start feeling poorly, almost flu-like, get blood tests done, and see that all of a sudden their liver's not functioning.
Tonight, Dr. Dave explains on his blog about how you can test to see if you have hepatitis C. There's a whole group in Denver that helps people with this virus. It's called the Hep C Connection. Rose Medical Center has also set up a hotline for patients, and you can find all of that information on our website, cbs4denver.com.